okay, Mama. Not gonna hurt ya. Update on the baby. Maybe. There's Puppy Love. There's Odie Doc. And then there's the baby. Can I get out the door? No, I need to get out the door. Come on. Come on. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Move. No. Listen. Hey, folks. Welcome back. It is awfully humid, folks. It is 90-something degrees. It's cloudy. An incredible amount of moisture in the air. And over that way somewhere I can hear thunder. I'm kind of hoping, I haven't looked at the radar yet, I'm kind of hoping that the storm is moving this way, but it usually moves that way. A little bit of rain would be nice. But my stepdad and my sister just got done telling me that we're supposed to get some rain quite a bit next week. I told them that I would welcome every drop of that rain. I really would, folks. So, again, I'm out in my garden. I've come to pick my beans. I've come to pick my cucumbers. I did plant my bush beans last night, folks. I did that just before dark. And by the time I was done planting those, then it was just too late to film, and I was too tired, and I was way past my bedtime. So, I am just getting home. I haven't even changed my clothes from work. Now, you're probably wondering if it's so hot why I'm dressed in a black shirt and gray dress pants and with a bandana. I just threw that on my head to keep my head a little cooler. Believe it or not, a bandana keeps your head cooler if it's wet, and I wet it down. And I've got the rag here for two purposes. One, to wipe the sweat, which is constantly running down my face since I've been out here, and it kind of hides the logo of where I work. I really like my new job, folks. You do have to wear a sort of a uniform. It is completely out of the norm for me. I've always done mental health. I've always done just mental health and intellectually disabled or intellectual differences, or it's always been mental health, one form or the other, and in one realm or the other, from being a director to teaching psychosocial rehab to doing the low man jobs, which are, in my opinion, more important than the other jobs because it's more hands-on. There's a little more learning moments, and you can make a big difference on a sometimes a minute by minute basis. So anyway, I've got this to cover up the logo on my work shirt. So it's a whole different field that I am in now as far as what I went to college for, what I've got a degree in. So, and I'm not one for advertising any place of business that I work, not because I don't really, I just don't think that I need to say where I work, but I can tell you it's one of the best jobs I've ever had. It's one of the most rewarding jobs I've ever had, and it's one of the most fun jobs I've ever had. So I'm glad I fell right into that, and life is really good. I just don't want to advertise. Y'all don't need to know every part of my life, right? Some of you know where I work. Only two, I guess, only two. So, anyway, let's get beyond that. So, we're supposed to get some rain, which is good. It is hot out, folks. It is so muggy. And I went in and checked on one baby duck that was born a while ago. I took a picture of it or something when it was first born. Every time I go and check on that particular one, There's another mama duck who is very broody, and she attacks me every time I come in. Tonight wasn't so bad. She didn't climb up my leg tonight, so that's good. So I got a little bit of that, and I checked. There's no bugs, folks. There's no bugs getting into my garden, which I'm really happy for. But if we're going to get a little bit of rain, that'll help my garden out tremendously. It needs rain badly. So I guess I really don't have much to say. I didn't make a video. I put a video up yesterday morning, but I did not make a video. And they won't be coming every day, but depends on what is happening, right? So today I worked both my jobs. One job was cut short today. Things that were out of everybody's control. Things happen. So I could have stayed there and trained, which I tried to do, folks, but there are several modules, and some are take just a few minutes, some take 5-7 hours long. And at the end of almost all the modules, they test you, they assess what you've learned by a little quiz, right? So I took one test 8 times, folks, and I knew I had the right answer. I just knew I had the right answer. And finally, I would take the assessment, then watch the video again, because I'm like, yeah, I must have missed something. And so I take the assessment again, go very carefully down through the questions. One in particular question really stumped me. And I did it 8 times, folks, and I couldn't imagine what I was doing wrong. So I asked one of my teammates, I said, what am I doing wrong? I know this is the answer. I just know it's the answer. And she goes, well, if it's the answer if you're reading the question wrong. And so I read the question out loud, and she goes, you're missing one word. It's in bold, and it's in all capital letters, and it's the word not. Which one is not? Da 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 da. So I knew right then it was time for me to shut my brain off on training. If I was going to sit there and make money by just keep it making mistakes, and my mind weren't in on that particular training today, then I could go, because my day was all done. So I went and worked my other job. So that's a good thing about the other part-time job. I could make my own hours. And the part about this full-time job is, as long as I'm there when I'm needed, and when I'm no longer needed, I could stay and I could train, I could stay and I could do other things, or I could clock out, right? So both jobs are pretty good. Both jobs are pretty convenient for how I live. So I'm very fortunate to have both those jobs that I like very much. So it's time for me to go in. I need to wash up, folks, and I need to get out of my work clothes, and I need to get out of my work shoes, because they're black as well, and they're like really hot, folks. So I just need to go and take care of myself. I need to wash up, and I need to refresh, and I need to change my clothes, and I need to rest. Last night I worked way too long. I started really early in the morning by getting up at 1, and I have to be up at 1 tomorrow morning. And I had to be up at 1 this morning, and by the time I come in from the garden, it was 7 o'clock, so that only left a handful of hours to wash up and wind down and get to sleep before I got to get back up again, right? So, folks, there are jobs out there if you look for them. There are really good jobs out there if you are patient and if you have a good work ethic. Social networking really helps. If you know of somebody that's in a particular line of work, and they really like their job and they're doing very well for themselves, why don't you give them a talking to and ask them if they're hiring? Maybe they can put a good word in for you. But if they're a good worker and they've proven themselves, and you have a history of not being a good worker, not being on time, not doing what you are paid to do, and being professional, then probably they aren't going to lose their reputation by by trying to get you into a job through them, right? So, don't burn bridges, folks. It's always best just to go in, do any job to the best of your ability, and do it right, and be on time, be courteous, be polite, be professional. I don't care if it's flipping burgers, you can still be professional. I don't care if you are if you are an traffic controller, you need to be professional, right? It doesn't matter what job you do, you should be professional while you are doing it, and you need to do that job how you are paid to do it, right? They're paying you. They don't want you to get paid by goofing off, I'm sure. And there's always a time to laugh, and there's always a time to, well, you guys know all this. So the hops are doing good. It's time to pick the violetta beans again. It'll almost be time for the achocha to pick, and I'll keep you posted up on the hops and the achocha if you're interested. And I have, if any of you have ever heard of pineapple tomato, it's a small husk tomato. It's about the size of your thumbnail, and it has a green husk on it, much like a tomatillo does, only it's much smaller. And what they are is when they're ripe, they'll drop off the plant and onto the ground. That's when you know that you can eat them. If you pick them off the plant, they're not going to be as sweet, and they're not going to be as tender and juicy. So if you wait till they fall on the ground, then pick them up off the ground, husk them, and they're going to be yellow. You put them in your mouth, you're going to have a real almost dessert-like sweet, like pineapple or a real sweet apple. And they're really good tossed in salads, folks. When they start coming off, I just go out and seriously get a bowl like this, and I can just round it right up because they're heirloom. And if you miss them, or if you throw one out to somebody, or you drop one in the yard and you leave it, I almost guarantee it's going to come up with a plant next year. So they're very prolific. I don't even plant them anymore. I planted them 1 year, and then they've just been coming up in the garden ever since. So I leave them. If I throw some out into the birds when they're ready, they don't eat them all, or they do, or then they poop. So I counted them the other day. I have 42 volunteer pineapple tomato plants just between the house and the coops. 42. They just come up, and they're all flowering. They're all bearing fruit. And in the garden here, there's probably over 100 of them. So when they get more ready, I'll show you what they look like and whatnot, and everybody around gets a big bowl by the end of the season. And I'm sure my new co-workers will enjoy them. They've been enjoying the cucumbers and the string beans and the peas that I've been bringing in. So I'm sure they'll enjoy pineapple tomato as well. So I can introduce them, and the achucha. I'll introduce them to a few things. See if they like it. A lot of them will. I've noticed that they like fresh vegetables. So anyway, I'm done rambling, folks. It's I could lose a lot of weight just in sweat, just standing here, but I just need to stop rambling and go in. But there's my garden. It's looking good for as dry as it is, folks, so I really can't complain. I can't complain, and I'm not going to complain. I would like to see rain, though, and that storm has already, like I said, it skirted us. It found that river, hit the river about 5 miles away, and now it's following the river all the way around me. That's what happens, folks. So, y'all have a good night. I hope you're staying hydrated. I hope you're resting. I hope you're staying in the shade. I hope you can get in the shade, and I hope you are not as hoarse as I am, because it's so dry. It's just so dry, folks. I haven't had a glass of water in a couple hours, and I've been out here sweating, so I'm getting dehydrated. So I've got to go. Have a good night. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Any new subscribers, sometimes you'll see me just somewhere just rambling. There's just really no point to a video. Others, there'll be teaching videos. There'll be whatever. Shit at the fan videos, life videos, anything. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm going to say when I jump in front of the camera, and tonight it's kind of like ramble time. So don't expect all the videos to be teaching videos. Sometimes they're just me just yakking like tonight. So y'all have a good night and be good. Thank you.